40% of that.
The egg story is 40%. I'm not. The egg
No.
story is 40%.
So this is our last.
But no, I don't have much to say. I've just sort of been listening. So don't feel like you have to, I'm not objecting.
But
I just don't
I
have.
want to hear some, because you've got a newspaper, you got to know some shit.
No, I don't. I forgot it all. I put it out of my mind. An issue comes out and I blot it.
What's an issue?
This man has stopped roads from being built. He's what was that total thing? He stopped roads from being built. You've saved hundreds of millions of
Lives.
little things that look like
Mike
dirt.
refers to cryptobiotic soil as fuzzy little creatures that look like dirt. Yeah.
He saved those. What else have you done?
Oh, it's just unbelievable. But I'm too modest to speak about it, really.
But he's mellowed. I mean, like when I first got here, I mean, he was like this staunch environmentalist, like everything. He was just running around, and he was like in a rage. I mean, like they were building this road or trying to build this road called the Book Cliffs Road or something like that. And then there was this like government thing going on because the good old boys, they had the yuppie scum that they wanted to take 7 yuppie scum and replace the 3 good old boys and what have you. And like this man was just, all the time you saw him there was things coming out of his neck. It is true.
It is not true.
Yes, it is. You're running around and everything that they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And then like as a result of his tomfoolery and his just his consistency and everything, like they didn't build a road and they got the new government in and then when the issues started to die down, and then especially when he had that like 22-year-old for a year and what have you, then he really like mellowed out a lot, and then she dumped him.
I hope this never shows in Austin, Texas.
Why? She didn't.
Huh? Wasn't exactly. Never mind. We don't have to go into my personal life, do we?
I think so.
I
think so. Since you're not going to, then tell us about tell us about the most important like issue that you have single-handedly like grasped and clutched.
Why don't you tell it?
No,
you do
no,
such
no.
a better job.
No. This is you, Jim.
No,
This
I
is
don't-
you. Come on. What was your favorite issue?
I don't have any favorite issues.
You had some favorite issues. Now,
No,
what
I
was your
didn't.
favorite issue?
I don't, and I didn't, But I do seem I feel a little calmer lately. I think it's because it's like the guy said. Ever since I gave up hope, I felt much better. I mean, things are just really screwed around this place, and you can win little battles and skirmishes, but ultimately, I feel like we're sort of losing the war in the rural West. So my goal is no longer to like really even win skirmishes. My goal is to just really piss these guys off before the end of doing what they're going to do anyway. And it's a lifestyle that works for me.
Hey, and
Can you list some enemies?
Names of people?
No, just enemies, which aren't usually people. They're usually things and ideas.
Developers and corporate America, I guess, basically. You're going to see all the local restaurants in this town put out of business someday because every damn franchise restaurant known to the free world, which is now everybody, is going to end up lining Main Street. And it's sort of insidious. It happens slowly enough that people don't rise up, as a mass in anger to try to stop it. But one day they kind of look around and they go, "My God, there's 25, franchise restaurants on Main Street, and this place closed and that place closed," and it sort of happens slowly, but it happens.
I think one of the downfalls about Moab in the last 10 years is City Market, the old City Market going kaboosh.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
The kid summed it up.
Out of the mouth of babes, it's the problem with the new city market. It's the floors are too slick because they're new, where you had the tear holes.
It was the deli bar.
Yeah.
The deli bar did it.
Yeah, this town is doomed. It is doomed. I mean, like the the way and this is the first time I've ever lived in a small town, and like, uh, it was incredibly fascinating to watch how these people sleaze in here and they kind of gush around and what have you, and they kind of, they get their little foothold, and then they start with the zoning and what have you. See, the thing that happens is, and I think a lot of this stuff probably would have been stopped or wouldn't never have happened if somebody would have had the foresight years ago to say, okay, this is happening to this town. Let's have some rules and some regulations and some guidelines and what have you. But basically, what you had is an old mining town where, like, the mines went out, the town went to shit. Well, Jim, you bought, what did you pay, like $15,000 for your house?
I paid $18,000 for a house that had sold for $50,000 in 1981. 4 years later, I paid $18,000 for it. And that was at a time when a fifth of the houses in this town were vacant. Everybody just left,
So-
now my house is worth $100,000, and every piece of real estate in this property is just worth a fortune.
So what you got is you got like a totally depressed economy. You got people that had to leave. You got people, and then you got a few hangers-on that had some real property and what have you. And then, like, all of a sudden, you start to get these sniffy little dudes coming in here, like, the franchises and this and that, and like, well, one comes, and so, like, this guy, okay, and he puts together a deal and what have you. Now, once you got one, you've already established the fact that and it still is America, no matter how anybody wants anything to be. Once you let one in, and then like, it opens the door for everybody else.
Yeah.
So the precedent has been set, and like, now we we obviously have more restaurants than we can handle, either to employ employees or whatever else. So now this franchise is coming in, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And it's the same with hotels and amusement parks and this and whatever other pieces of garbage are going to be constructed here, by the lowest bidder. You can't stop it, and you have some things. Well, the sewer system can't handle this, and so you have some things to delay it a little bit. But there's no doubt in my mind that this little valley is shit.
But see, the irony is, like, there was a conscious decision made in the late '80s to go after the tourism dollar, but the people that are benefiting from that effort are the people who are moving here, not the people who were already here. And the people who are having to pay for the expanded sewage treatment plant, for example, which came about because our current plant is maxed out because of all the motels that came in and the new restaurants, are the people who've lived here 30 years. The whole town is going to pay for the expansion that a lot of us never really wanted in the first place. And one day, the cost of living here will get to be so great that the old town, and this is a story that's happened all over the West. What happened in Telluride and Aspen and Park City. But eventually the people who wanted to make this their home, who've been here either all their lives or at least for the last 20 or whatever, will end up leaving, and the town will make way for the people who are coming here now, so, for a totally different reason.
Sad. But I guess that's good in a way, because then the people that were here, what have you, have to go out and find another place and what have you, and then they can start all over again. They can buy and then be pushed out.
The one good thing is, at least those of us who end up leaving we will have bought low and sold high.
Yeah. And I think I'll leave sometime. I mean, I'm a guy now that doesn't leave at all and what have you. But I think someday I'll just go like that. And one of the things where that also is just like, the school system and what have you. One of the motivations for moving out of the city here is because at the time I had a 2-year-old child, now I have a 5-year-old child, and what have you, was to get them away from the crap, like the Uzis and what have you. And you live in a city and like babies are being snatched out of shopping carts, and you literally, you go, it got to the point where you go to the store and you're worried about somebody's going to steal your kid and what have you, which now that I've gotten to know him would have, you know, been great. But I didn't know that then. and
Now he's got a sign around.
yeah, and like nobody here's gonna steal him. But that's the thing. It's like, you know, you come here because, you know, you're concerned about your child and you're concerned about the dangers and the gangs and the Uzis and what have you. And then you find out that it's got the lowest paid, the school teachers, they're actually paid less than a lot of school districts in Mississippi, which is one of the worst states in the union. So you have this school system that these people don't have any money, even if they wanted to teach the kids, they wouldn't really be able to teach the kids because, you know, a lot of the things that the kids have to know to function in the world that's coming up is like computers and this technical stuff and you know, the information highway and all that other stuff. And I mean, you know, they've got like a couple of Dixie cups with some string and what have you, and they're talking back and forth. So, you know, at some juncture, I mean, I don't want my kid to go like have his education through the school system and what have you. So someday I might have to go. Might have to say goodbye to these parts. You know, just look and say it's been fun.
I think we're done.
God.
Unless you have one, you know, what do you say? Do you say goodbye? Say goodbye. You know, say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's good. What about you, Jason?
And God knows your participation, Jason, has made this memorable.
Yeah.
I think you're the most important thing that's ever happened to me, Jason.
Oh my, dang. Ugh. I was honored to
Is that
have
the
you
color of
hate
this
me,
thing?
but
That's
now
what
we
it's supposed
hate
to
you.
be?
Yeah, it's a tomato. It's a yeller tomato. It's an organic yeller tomato. Bugs on bugs.
Are your vegetables organic?
Well, this particular one is because this is a sample. This is a sample. That's the little the show. Have you did you